こんにちは。では、英検1級2分間スピーチの過去問の練習を10本まとめてやります。60番台ですね。はい、1個目、お題が Is transferring technology to developing nations is the key, 違った。The key to economic development ですね。いきます。はい。Whether transferring technology to developing nations is the key to economic growth or not is a controversial debate. Mine says clearly yes. Today I'm going to talk about the general idea of its advantages, Japan's contribution, and what we should do. Firstly, let's talk about the general idea of its advantages. When developing nations receive technology from developed nations, they can produce more goods, create new industries, and develop their agriculture. It helps improve their living standard and economic growth. For example, it can give a lot of jobs and better education and healthcare systems. Secondly, let's think about Japan's contribution. After World War II, Japan could recover its own economy and then started to share their knowledge and technology with developing nations, especially in Asia. Japanese companies build a lot of factories and uh, a lot of infrastructure by roads and bridges. Also, they taught how to use the new machines and manage businesses. Even now, many Asian students come to Japan to learn many kinds of technology. Finally, what we should do, for example, economic growth should go with fiscal value. Development should be in harmony with environmental sustainability, and corruption by the government and big companies should be avoided. In conclusion, transferring technology is a key to developing nations is a key to their economic growth. But there is something we should consider, especially environmental issue and corruption. Thank you. なんか緊張しますね、やっぱね。はい、次です。Is region is losing its relevance in the 21st century? これ、まあ、今っていうような感じでいきたいと思います。Whether region is losing its relevance in this century or not is a controversial debate, and my answer is clearly yes. Today I'm going to talk about it here in Japan and globally. Firstly, let's think about Japan's case. Many Japanese people say they are atheist, so while they still visit shrines and temples for New Year, weddings, and funerals, these events are seen just cultural events. Also, two top religions in Japan, Buddhism, Shintoism, if are often regarded commercialized without deep faith. Religion's main purpose is to save needy people. In this respect, Japan is losing its relevance. Religion is losing its relevance in Japan today. Secondly, globally, the situation is more complex. In person, I believe in Buddhism because its main idea is all the life is equal and killing others, including other species, is fundamentally wrong. So if there were religions which bring about world peace, Buddhism would be the most likely. However, looking around the world, it's almost impossible for any religion to bring about world peace. Sometimes religion causes more harm than good, like killing vulnerable individuals. For example, in the Middle East, there have been a lot of Middle East wars, and millions of people have already been killed. Religious difference is one of the main causes for these problems. In conclusion, religion is losing its relevance in this century, both here in Japan and globally. Thank you. 67番。Does the government spend taxpayers' money wisely? ですね。Whether the government spend the taxpayers' money wisely or not is a controversial debate, and my answer is clearly no. Today I'm going to talk about two things. Structure of the government and poor outcomes over last 30 years. Firstly, let's think about the structure of the government. For one thing, many ministries do the similar things. For example, with the introduction of minor card, digital agency and other ministries did the similar things, and these overlaps have made all the procedure and paperwork too complicated. It wasted time, money, and materials. Also, there is a ceiling system for the budget. This means ministries try to keep same amount of money every year, even if they don't need it. For example, Ministry of Land, Infrastructure, Transport, and Tourism usually want to start a new project like development of infrastructure. And to make matters worse, uh, this ministry has a strong relationship with general contractors and developers, so it may be said taxpayers' money is not used for taxpayers, but for the benefits of these companies and kickbacks to the politicians. Secondly, let's think about poor outcomes over 30 years, such as lowered GDP. When I was young, this figure was always number two, except for the USA, but prosperity has gone too far. In conclusion, taxpayers' money is not wisely used in Japan for sure. Thank you. はい、次。should the people have the right to own firearms for self-defense? Whether people should have the right to own firearms for self-defense or not is a controversial debate, and my answer is clear: no, we shouldn't have any firearms for self-defense. Today, I'm going to talk about two things: low crime rate of Japan and new challenges. Firstly, Japan has a very strong law about gun ownership, so it is extremely difficult for ordinary people to have guns, their own guns. This law has made remarkable outcomes. Japan has one of the lowest crime rates all over the world, especially gun violence. So, generally speaking, Japanese society is very safe and peaceful because guns are not common. Secondly, meanwhile, there are a lot of new challenges. For example, crimes using internet has become more and more serious. For one thing, they are hard to catch because they change location too often. They are cross-border, they are anonymous, and their network is too complicated to identify. Also, crimes related to immigrants have been more and more serious. For example, sexual crimes by foreign workers has been increasing. However, giving more guns to more people would not solve these problems. Instead, it would likely to increase violence and make our society less safe. We should choose other options, like instrumental surveillance cameras and community activities to prevent crimes. In conclusion, we shouldn't have any right to own firearms for self-defense. Our low crime rates proves that a society without gun is a safer society. Thank you. 次。65番。Should investigating reporting play a big role in the Japanese journalism? これいきます。Whether investigating reporting should play a big role in Japanese journalism or not is a controversial debate. In my sense, clearly no. There are mainly two reasons. Poor quality of Japanese journalism and the strong relationship with those in power. Firstly, the quality of Japanese journalism is very poor. They sometimes give us bias and misinformation, especially global issues like geopolitics. Their report is sometimes quite different from that of other developed nations. For example, last year, their report about Israel and US attacks Iranian nukes, they focused too much on violation of international law, but they have been strong historical background around there. We should admit any justice for terrorist attacks by Hamas and Hezbollah, and there have been strong Russian and Chinese involvement of enrichment of Iranian nuclear power. Japanese media's reports made us forget these important facts. Secondly, they have strong relationship with those in power. For example, ruling party LDP, big corporation, and labor unions. So they report completely, they don't completely report full truth or criticize them. So we should be smart enough to choose the correct information through a lot of news sources, including social media, and should compare them to know the truth. In conclusion, we shouldn't always believe in investigating report of Japanese journalism because of their poor quality and strong relationship with those in power. Thank you. 次、64番. Should the pet industry be more tightly regulated? Whether the pet industry should be more tightly regulated or not is a controversial debate, and my answer is clearly yes. Today, I'm going to talk about the two key factors, animal welfare and pet abandonment. Firstly, let's think about animal welfare. In my opinion, using wildlife and wild animals for human entertainment is fundamentally wrong. These days, many people keep wild animals as their pet. For example, certain reptiles and exotic birds which cannot live well in the house. Also, when they are kept as pet, they will get used to eating human food, living in human residence, and will never go back to wildlife. This is not fair to them. So animals sold as pets should be strictly limited to common domestic animals like cats and dogs. Secondly, pet abandonment is another big issue. These days, it is reported that many pets are left behind by the pet owners. These owners pets, keep pets without understanding long-term responsibility. They should find it difficult to take care of pets with deep and consideration, careful consideration. For example, many people keep turtles called midorigami, which is very strong foreign species, as their pets, but some of them discard them into ponds and rivers. And these turtles are so strong that they get domestic turtles out of their habitats. In conclusion, for animal welfare and to reduce pet abandonment, Japan's pet industry should be more tightly regulated. 63番。あれ。A protest movement an effective way to bring about change in society. Whether protest movements are effective way to bring about change in society or not is a controversial debate. And in Japan, my answer is no. Protest movements are not effective. Today, I'm going to talk about why they are not effective in Japan and importance of social media platform. Firstly, Japanese people usually don't like protest movement. Most of us see them as violent activities and waste of time and don't want to be a participant. Even if some of them join the protest movement, the government always ignore them, so protest movements are not effective. However, we live in the internet-driven society, especially after COVID-19, almost everything from younger generation to older generation use social media platform as a powerful tool. Also, these platforms are essential to politicians to appeal to their policies and commitment. And these opinions and commitment are shared with people all over Japan. For example, the price of rice is a current concern many Japanese people are interested in because it has risen since last fall. At that time, the former agriculture minister, Mr. Edo, addressed an appropriate comment that he could get rice for free. His comment was shared with the people all over Japan instantly online. As a result, he had to resign, and new minister, Mr. Koizumi, took quick action to raise the price down by using stock rice. This is a good example that social media platform could change your policy. In conclusion, Japanese people don't like a protest movement. Instead, we use social media platform as a powerful tool for change. ということで、62番。 With regard to labor union, there are mainly two types, an enterprise union and industry union. And Japanese employees usually belong to the former. Compared with latter, an enterprise union is set up within a company, so their activities are milder and some may insist they are superficial. But I don't think so. Japanese labor unions play a crucial role in business field. Firstly, labor unions are voice for employees. Employees usually want to talk about pay rules and working conditions, and labor unions ensure their voices can be heard by their bosses. This voice really helps make working place fair and happy. Secondly, labor unions can keep things stable. As I mentioned, Japanese labor unions are close to the company, so they sometimes work together instead of fighting. For example, when a new technology like AI is introduced, labor unions strongly promote employees to master the skills. In other words, they ensure employees can get training and support from the company. This policy really makes the company very strong. Finally, these days, there have been lots of focus on preventing many kinds of harassment. Labor unions helps get information gather information through surveys and direct feedback from their labor union members. In conclusion, while Japanese labor union is set up within a company, they play a crucial role in business fields like voice for employees, keep things stable, and gather information about many kinds of harassment. Thank you. これが一番嫌いなんですよね。ああ。Is there too much emphasis on individualism in society today? Whether there is too much emphasis on individualism in society today is a controversial debate, and my answer in Japan is no. In Japan, individualism is well reserved and balanced by some social values. Today, I'm going to talk about three social values: modesty, humility, and hiding real feelings. Firstly, modesty and humility is highly valued in Japan. Many employees don't want to talk about their success. Instead, they think about a group benefit rather than their own. This way of thinking really keeps them from being too self-centered and showing off. This means group goals are more important than individual goals in Japanese company. So this is clear evidence that there's not too much emphasis on individualism. Secondly, it's common for Japanese employees to hide real feelings to keep things smoothly. Japanese people don't like argument. Instead, we like to listen to many ideas of many people and then try to make consensus through peaceful procedures like uh, hold a team meeting by using PowerPoint, mind map, and two-way communication apps like Zoom, and of course, generation AI. This peaceful way really helps avoid too much emphasis on individualism. In conclusion, in Japan, individualism is well balanced and reserved by some social values like modesty, humility, and hiding real feelings. Thank you. はい。では、やっと10本目ですね。これはですね、more need to be done to create a sustainable global fishing industry。これちょっと最初の方が受け身になっててやりづらいんで、we を主語にしてやろうと思います。Whether we should do more to create a sustainable global fishing industry or not is a controversial debate, and my answer is clearly yes. Today I'm going to talk about why this industry is important and what we should do. First, it is often said in 2050 the world population will become 10 billion, and we will surely face food depletion due to overpopulation. So seafood industry is very important because it has a lot of nutrients like protein, fat, carbohydrate, and even minerals. Also, seafood resource is much more than land food resource. And if marine ecosystem is well maintained, it will promote itself automatically. Also, among these industries, aquaculture fishery is very important because it has already produced more than half of total consumption of seafood. So what we should do? For one thing, monitoring fish stocks and marine ecosystem is very important. Overfishing doesn't give us sustainable supply. Also, these days, climate change has altered fish migration route. So, introducing smart technology like fish detectors, sonars, and satellite by remote sourcing is very important. Also, to waste a lot of waste, smart circulation and retailing system is important. And as I mentioned, aquaculture fishery will play a crucial role in the future. In conclusion, we should do more to create a sustainable global fishing industry. Thank you. ということで、では60番台10個でしたが、お経スピーチといいますか、英検1級の2分間スピーチですね。原稿とかさんには何なしで、この題名だけでやっております、いつも。これを66トピックやるんで、たまにちょっとめんどくさいというか、飽きちゃった時にこうやって動画を出したりします。さようなら。